Welcome. It's another edition of Grind City Wrestling. It's episode 290. I am Dustin Starr. Be sure to take that subscribe button to Slap City wherever you're watching or wherever you're listening. Also, give us a follow at Grind City Media. You can go check out the archives with some of the biggest interviews with wrestling's biggest stars at grindcitymedia.com/podcast. This week, we are definitely going to tackle the best wrestling that we watched all week. Plus, we've got so many news and notes to get all caught up with. Let's not waste any time. Ladies and gentlemen, it is bell time. Introducing my co-host, my tag team partner, one of the best follows in all of Memphis sports and Memphis culture. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Devin Walker.
How you doing, people? I'm here again, man. Today, I'm thinking we're gonna add this as a segment to our show. Now that we're on video, what I'm wearing today.
Hold on, let me do the entrance music.
Shout out to the Hardys, man. I'm rocking the old school Hardy Boy tee today. This is from this is probably like the second run because it's a WWE on there. So it's probably the second run with WWE. Old school Hardy tee on my chest. We rocking it today, bro. Shout out to one of my favorite tag teams of all time.
Hardy Boys were in Arkansas over the weekend at the Comic Con.
I saw your boy Terrence Ward doing their intro.
Best ring announcers. Yeah, he did the intro. I texted him and said, dude, I don't know that I'd be able to do that. Yeah, he's like, are you kidding me?
It was big time.
Nah, man, Terrence is really good. But anyway, follow Devin on Twitter at Devin_Walker2. And should I say, follow the Devin the Reporter.
Yeah, do that. You know, that's
What's
me.
up with this?
Dude, man, look, man, we're just trying to live our lives out here. I'm going to come to the Wrestle Center and do a video with their wrestling fans.
Definitely.
If you want me to come do a video.
Are you interested in being in front of... I always thought that you did not like being in front of the camera, especially talking to the people.
I think that's like a part of my thing, bro. Like, I think on this side, like when I'm over here, I can be myself. But then when I'm doing other stuff for the Grizzlies, I'm fine with being behind the camera. But like this. I've always been comfortable in front of it. We're trying to expand it and do things that fit my liking, you know. So if you need me at the Wrestle Center, let me know.
I was going to say open invitation anytime at the Wrestle Center. And speaking of the Wrestle Center, we're going to be there this Sunday featuring AEW superstar Jay Lethal.
Okay, turn up. Black Machismo himself.
There's plenty of things that you can ask the fans about that, including Black Machismo.
Yeah, one of my favorite characters ever.
Jonathan Gresham's going to be in the house, and then also, you missed it, but Sandman was there. And here, let's go ahead and just get it out of the way. Did you watch Memphis Wrestling on Saturday featuring the Sandman?
First of all, we're going to start this by saying, Dustin, you know I love you. You know you're one of my favorite people in this world. And you know I watch the show every single week. I tap into Memphis Wrestling.
Don't like how it's starting out so far.
If you don't tap into Memphis Wrestling, you should tap into Memphis Wrestling. But you know I always keep it 100 with you, and I'm going to keep it 100 with you right now. I was so happy about Sandman being on the show. I was tapped in when you said, Sandman, coming up next. And I was happy. I was excited. Reverend Ash Taylor gets in the ring, da-da-da-da-da. And all these weird-ass cutscenes started to happen. I'm like, what am I watching? It was weird. And then I don't think the fans reacted the way I wanted them to. Like, of course, he poured the beer in one of the guy's mouth, and he tried to pour it in the other girl's mouth. But I feel like it's the Sandman, bro. It's an ECW legend, bro. Get on your feet for the Sandman, bro. Don't sit on your ass and you...
I don't think they
Get on your feet, wrestling fans, for the freaking Sandman, dog.
Oh, my gosh, you would have to be there live, and I know that sucks to say, but, man, the people were definitely with it. There was a huge banner made out of a bed sheet.
Yeah, that
said Kane, Reverend Ash Hole.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Sandman was awesome. So we have some unreleased footage that's going to air on this week's Memphis Wrestling. But, man, you know what? Sandman was great, and I'm going to do a members only on YouTube, on the Memphis Wrestling YouTube, answering questions about this, because a lot of people were asking about how long the entrance was.
Bro, really, it took forever. It was like 18 cuts in the intro, bro.
It's all about the entrance. That's all he's got.
But the intro was so not like I said, I'm going to be real. It was weak. I love you, but it was weak.
Here was the thing. I don't know that the Sandman knew exactly what he was getting into. Because what I had visioned in my head with a cinematic introduction for the Sandman didn't quite have that aggressive, I'm about to whoop your ass feel.
It was more like a Disney Channel ass entry. It was very Disney.
I'm with you.
If y'all are watching this show, go watch at Memphis Wrestling. Fast forward to the end.
Do it.
And watch the same entry. I want to know what y'all think.
The final 8 minutes, you've got to see. It's really good. I mean,
I
it's good hokey.
I wish we could put this in the show so y'all can see it yourself.
It's good hokey wrestling, but there was supposed to be an element of aggression.
It was no aggression.
There was not a lot of aggression.
I felt like I was watching
Sandman.
It on like the Disney Channel.
I felt like Sandman just walked out.
It was weird.
And again, I'm not throwing shade. I love him. I'd book it a million times over. Sandman, if you're watching this, which I know you're not, I will book you a million times over to do the same thing. But it was almost like happy-go-lucky. Like, hey,
I blame
let's go whoop some ass.
I blame you, bro. I'm blaming you for this. I'm blaming you for the Sandman looking like a damn cartoon character.
Check that out, youtube.com/@MemphisWrestling. It's called Enter the Sandman, episode 185. This week's episode features a big tag team title match. But anyway, coming up on today's Grind City Wrestling, news and notes from AEW All Out. And I'm going to stop in my tracks right here. Devin, did you watch All Out?
I did. I watched it in some shape, way, form, or fashion.
On Twitter?
Yeah, I watched it a little bit on Twitter. I watched a little bit on my phone. But still, I have a question I have to ask to the fans. And I know we have like real hardcore wrestling fans that listen to this. I have a serious question. I want to save it.
It's interesting you say that. Because I have a question for you.
Yes, because it hit me, and it's like, you know me. I told Sandman, bro, I love Extreme Championship Wrestling. I love the edgy stuff. I love the stuff that wouldn't be normally on TV. But I have to ask a question about AEW.
We might have the same question in mind because we do have an age gap. I'm older than you.
Yes,
obviously here.
Mr. Skinny Jeans himself.
A lot of times, all right, Mr. Cutoff Blue Jean Shorts. So a lot of times you have a different perspective than what I do. I mean, I've got kids and a wife and all that kind of stuff. You're younger and have a whole different perspective on a lot of different things. Yeah, I show that off. But I'm going to ask you a question here in just a little bit. But I wanted to ask you about All Out because you asked me if I watched All In. I didn't watch All In or All Out.
You weren't All In or All Out?
I did the same thing as you. I just caught up with it.
It fell flat.
We were extremely busy, and I have yet to order the pay-per-view and get all caught up.
There's things that we got to talk about, though, that happen at All Out. And we'll get there when we get there.
So we've got news and notes coming out, up AEW All Out. I'm going to hit you with some news stories. We can discuss as many of them as we can, and also that question that I have for you. But first, let's kick it off with the best wrestling that we watched all week. Devin, you are up.
I'm going to go with, so we're recording this a day after one of the biggest shows. We've seen a lot of changes coming through. We've seen... they announced on the new SmackDown they're going to bring the fist back, which I freaking love.
Very cool.
Brings back so many nostalgia memories of two of the people I'm wearing right now, the Hardy Boys.
A new fist? What's it going to look like?
I want the old fist back. I want like a slightly tweaked, modern but old fist.
Right.
So shout out to the fist coming back on SmackDown. I see they're going to make it a 2-hour show on Netflix. They're kind of preparing to that shift.
Looks like they're going to have 2 hours leading up to Netflix.
Yes.
So I guess USA is... Because the deal with USA and Monday Night Raw ends early. It actually ends before the end of the year, before they kick off on Netflix. So I think what they've done is change it to 2 hours moving forward, and then I think they go back to 3 on Netflix.
Which I love. But I think the best wrestling was on Raw a couple of nights ago, whenever you listen to this podcast. They're back in Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
Yeah.
The home of Bret the Hitman Hart, everybody that knows me, bro, they know I'm not a big Bret Hart fan.
This was so great, Devin.
But I think when this music hit, so they did the thing where they did it before. They walked out, they're like, "Oh, Bret the Hitman Hart's here." He's looking into the camera, and like you could tell Bret Hart's like, "Am I walking fast enough? Do I need to stop? Do I need to go?"
Bret Hart, he has 0 Fs to give.
Oh no, he doesn't care.
He does not
you can see it in
care.
his face. So then his music hits, he comes out, and when that music hits in the crowd pop, it hit me, and I said, "This is why all these dudes, these older guys, always come back."
Yeah.
You always chase like the feeling of when your music hits and everybody's chanting your name. You will never get that feeling anywhere else.
Pop, yeah. And Bret looked great. You know, Bret's been through a stroke. He's been through a lot of health issues. Man, Bret looked better this time than I've seen him in a long time. And last time we saw Bret, he was hoisting up the AEW World Heavyweight Championship over on All Elite Wrestling.
That's not true. The last time we saw Bret, he was slandering Bill Goldberg on a documentary.
I mean, on television.
Which brings me back to my favorite wrestling of the week. Gunther comes out, in Gunther fashion, he's telling Bret Hart how so influential. I love you, man, but you're my second favorite wrestler.
Yes.
And you can see the smirk on his face. He's like, behind Bill Goldberg. Because everybody knows how much Bret Hart hates Bill Goldberg.
Yes, look, this would have never happened in the Vince McMahon regime because Vince does not have his ear to the floor like Triple H does.
Into the streets, man.
Vince would have never known, probably. And I know that's silly to say, like Vince doesn't get on the internet, but Vince would have never known, or at least acted as if he never knew that any of those interviews with Bret Hart ever took place, or that there was any hatred of Bill Goldberg and Bret Hart. But here we are in the Triple H era where social media is a major priority. And you know what? They give the fans what they want.
Exactly.
They are giving the fans what they want. And for Gunther to come out and say something about what is only posted on social media,
when everybody, the last time we saw Bret Hart, he was slandering Bill Goldberg.
Always.
So the time you bring him back, you use the one of the top heels in your business to bring up who? Bill Goldberg.
Right.
So that was probably my best wrestling of the week. Another side note, have you seen the trailer for the new Vince McMahon documentary?
Ooh, I've got that in my news and notes, but we can go ahead and hit it. Have you ever wanted to see a documentary more than you want to see the Vince McMahon documentary?
So there's someone, our boy Chris Verno, watch the Chris Verno show every day.
Shout out to Verno.
His guy Bill Simmons is one of the people that produced it.
Oh.
And he told Vernon, when this comes out, all hell's gonna break loose. So that's the thing. I was worried when this trailer dropped, there's going to be another one of those soft ass PR pieces about the story of Vince McMahon. But from what he's been telling us, he's like, yo, when this drops, be ready.
Go check that out on the Chris Vernon show.
He said when this doc drops, it's going to shake some stuff up because it's telling the real story of Vince McMahon.
Vince is in this documentary.
Yes.
Vince is talking in this documentary. Vince was a part of this documentary. And a lot of these documentaries that they do, we don't see Vince come with his feet to the fire like this. So I'm very, very intrigued. That's going to be released on Netflix on September 25th. All the trainees at the Wrestle Center are saying, hey, can we just all get together and watch this
it's going to be great. Center? It's going to be great. You should get like a little projection screen and put it up on the wall.
I do have a feeling, though, that I'm going to agree with a lot of the business stuff that Vince talks about.
Oh, yeah.
The cutthroat.
It's just the human elements, bro. That
not fighting fair. I think Dana White said that Vince, and I think Vince admitted, I don't fight fair. And I think that I'm going to agree with a lot of what Vince McMahon has to say when it comes to wrestlers and staff and all that kind of stuff. I have a very, very good feeling that I'm gonna.
Are you gonna draw the line at the Mexicools?
I would probably draw the line.
Or crime time.
Or I don't know, maybe the sexual assault allegations or something.
Or like all the weird Braun Pennies matches we used to watch.
And it comes to wrestlers, you've heard me tell stories about wrestlers.
Oh, yeah.
Like sometimes you can't even tell them what you have planned coming up on television because they may or may not show up for TV if they like it or don't like it.
Sandbag you.
Yeah, that doesn't work for me, brother.
Yeah.
So anyway, looking forward to the Vince McMahon documentary. That's going to be on Netflix September 25th. I can't wait, especially considering that Vince is actually speaking on this thing. And for him to be appearing on camera. Meanwhile, I read, what was it, that they buried him with double loads of dirt or something is the report that's coming out.
Like
so this should be really good.
Like I said, the people that produced it, they have said that this is not a puff piece. This is real shit, so I'm excited.
Can't wait. All right, best wrestling that I watched all week other than the Vince McMahon trailer, which I think usually I'll kind of watch while I'm doing something and look down or whatever, but I watched the entire trailer on my phone when somebody sent it to me. It was amazing. Best wrestling that I watched all week. Okay, I never thought that I would say this, and I'm not being a hater. This is just my style of wrestling and the flavor of ice cream that I like. The main event on Monday Night Raw was a fatal four-way for a shot at the Intercontinental Championship.
Yes.
Strowman versus Dragunov versus Jey Uso versus Pete Dunne. Let me repeat that. The main event of Monday Night Raw featured Dragunov and Pete Dunne.
The Bruiserweight.
It was freaking awesome. Did you see this match?
Oh, I did see the match. And
it was freaking awesome.
I saw the Braun Strowman, what's the name, spot too. It was amazing.
So I was going to say,
Bronson Reed.
Tsunami!
Yeah, I love the tsunami out of nowhere, bro.
They got him over.
I love it so much, bro. It took, a month?
It's incredible.
It took a month. He was out last week for COVID, but they got him over in a month.
Dude, Dragunov and Pete Dunne in the main event on Monday Night Raw was awesome, and that would have never, ever happened in the Vince McMahon era. And I'm just saying that these are smaller guys.
Yes.
They're NXT guys is what they are.
So the
Pete
Finn
Dunne,
Balor's,
to me,
the Finn Balor's, the Sami
now
Zayn's.
Finn Balor and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and there's several others that I'm just going off the top of my head.
The
have
Johnny
transitioned-
Wrestling.
Yeah, they have transitioned very, very well into the main roster, where some of them have not.
Yeah.
Dragunov and Pete Dunne, I still look at like they're NXT superstars on a Monday Night Raw, but then when you put them in the main event, that match was absolutely spectacular. It shows just how good Triple H is at writing the shows and doing what he does with these characters, because I don't think that Dragunov and Pete Dunne in particular would have ever seen a main event in the history of the world in a Vince McMahon era.
And we've given Triple H credit for a lot of stuff, but like on this show, he turned Roman Reigns to a babyface, was Vince McMahon tried to do for what, 5 years?
Yep.
He turned to a babyface in what, 6 weeks?
Jey Uso, a tag team wrestler. Do you know how hard it is to break out of a tag team? For instance, I've got Rock and Roll Express, Robert Gibson coming to the Mid-South Fair.
Yeah.
People are going to say, where's Ricky?
Yep.
Where's Ricky? I already know they're going to say, where's Ricky? Robert Gibson and Ricky Morton are together as the Rock and Roll Express forever, right? That happens with tag teams. Legion of Doom. Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty. But Shawn broke out, right? So Jey Uso, they've done a fantastic job with Jey Uso.
Shout out to them, man, creating actual stars. Bronson Reed's a star. It took, what, 3 weeks, so.
But Bronson Reed was basically treading water the entire time until he tsunami'd
Seth Rollins
6 or 7 times.
And it went
that's all
viral.
it took. It was awesome.
Shout out to them, man.
Great job for Triple H. I thought Strowman was awesome. Dragunov was awesome. Of course, Jey Uso picking up the victory. Now he's going for the Intercontinental Championship, which, by the way, Braun Breaker, is there anybody more over than him right now? Did you hear when he said, the dogs are barking loud here in Calgary, and the entire arena started barking? And this was on a pre-tape.
Yeah, and I love that, bro. That's the stuff that makes wrestling, bro. The call and chant stuff.
Yep.
That's why I think that's probably one of my, if you were to list of my favorite things about the professional wrestling business, I think that's probably up there with the chanting, the interactions, the Jey Uso. It's me, Oos.
And honestly,
that's the shit I love the most.
Honestly, as hokey as the Sandman spot was, that's what I love the most about it, because every single person in the VIP line loved him some Sandman. When he peeked his head through that curtain, whether it was hokey or not, everybody wanted a sip of his beer, and they wanted to see him whoop some ass. They were chanting ECW. So it's the crowd interaction for me.
Yeah.
All right, that was my best wrestling of the week. Now we gotta get
to the topic,
some
man. The
news
big
and
topic.
notes here. All right, so first, let's give an update. Joe Test, how's Joe Test doing on Monday Night Raw?
Still doing great. The
Thought he
Bronson
did
Reed
awesome.
spot was great. Like I say, he's still finding his footing, but I love what he's doing. He uses the word combo a lot. I heard the word combo a lot more on Raw than I ever thought I would. You gotta learn the moves, but he'll get there.
Mine is, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
I say that so much that my son will say, you've got to be kidding me, Dada.
Oh gosh, that's crazy.
So it's just one of the things that he's comfortable with, but I did hear that he had a little more excitement in his voice, and he's going out of his way to let wrestling fans know that he knows the history of WWE, which I like. All right, quick update on Odyssey Jones. Have you heard the update?
I did. Fill the people in.
It ain't good, I'll tell you that. There is actually
done.
like a burner account or some kind of thing on X that was revealed over the week where this person is just constantly needling and saying how this dude beat him or her up, or I don't even know who it is, but just allegations like crazy. And so finally something went too far to where Odyssey Jones is gone for domestic violence.
And they had to rewrite that story. Now the New Day is fighting for the tag team belts next week on Raw.
You know what they did? They scrapped it.
That's crazy. That's crazy how wrestling works sometimes.
Sometimes you just have to forget the story because it ain't even worth covering it up at that point.
Nah, it's not, man. It's not. But you know what's not worth? You know what's really not worth covering up? What they're doing right now in all of AEW.
All right, I got my big question.
We gotta talk. We probably got 10 to 15 minutes left in the show, but I have to ask this question.
Big question.
And people know I am a wrestling fan who likes the edgy stuff, the setting people on fire, jumping off ladders, the hitting people with chairs, getting tables, the bleed, all that. I love all of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the stuff I told Sandman himself as a kid. I love Extreme Championship Wrestling because it was different. 5-star. I think I'm standing here right today on the show on September 10th. I'm here to tell you that AEW might have gone too far.
Ooh. All right, so my big question for you, and it's right here on my computer. Has AEW gone too far?
That's what I'm saying. That's the question. Like wrestling fans, do y'all like this, or
we have the same question for each other?
Because
Devin, you're younger than me,
I
right?
love the crazy stuff, bro. But when you stick a needle in somebody's mouth, on a wrestling show.
For those of you who have not seen it at AEW All In, or was it All Out? It was All Out.
It was all somewhere.
Swerve gets a needle stuck in his mouth.
And they do a zoom shot of it. Like, he's like
literally, they have a needle, and they stick the needle in his mouth.
Through his lip.
If that wasn't bad enough, though.
Oh, that was even the worst of it.
Yeah, on Dynamite, more happened in that match, but on Dynamite a couple of days later, Jon Moxley puts a plastic bag over Daniel Bryan's head and tries to suffocate him to death in the ring.
And this, I'm gonna get back to the Swerve thing, but that's one of the issues, bro. Right? And we just talk about this. As a kid, I watched wrestling. Right? I watched these people on my shirt, the Hardy Boys. You know when I watched the Hardy Boys? You know what I tried to emulate all the time? I did this. The Swanton Bomb, the Twist of Fate. I used to wrestle my cousins, bro, hitting the super kick, hitting the pedigree. You don't want kids out here trying to emulate what he did on that TV show?
Wrestling fans, here's the question. Has AEW gone too far? The needles in the mouth, the plastic bag over the head. Now, I know we do glass and tables and all that.
That's fine.
Jumping off a balcony, whatever, that's cool. But a needle in the mouth or a plastic bag over the head, I can't let my kid watch that. So now I'm that guy. That's why I wanted to ask you, because you don't have a wife or kids yet.
Yeah.
You have a different perspective. You're younger. And to me, that's way too far.
And I enjoy that stuff usually, right?
Yeah. But am I offended by it? I don't know that I'm offended by it, but I just know that I can't let my kids watch AEW if they're going to have needles and plastic bags killing people.
And then the shot, the chair shot, I think that part too, I was like...
Now, the chair shot, I think there's a little bit of magic.
It was gimmicked a little bit.
I think the chair is fake. And I think Tony Schiavone and Conrad Thompson were talking about this a couple of weeks ago, like, hey, guys, chill out with the chair shot to the head thing. Come on, if you only knew how silly you were being. Okay, so guys, I hate to break this to you, but when we worked Young Rock, there was a foam ladder that they used. There's a foam chair that I have possession of that's on our eBay store right now from the TV show Heels. They look real, but they're padded foam, and they sound like metal.
Let's say, because that thing sounds like a gunshot.
There are gimmick chairs out there. So I'm not necessarily so worried about the chair shot to the head because I think that was
a gimmick shot.
I think there's some magic involved.
Okay.
But the needle going through the lip, the plastic bag over the head, even if there's a hole in the bag to protect Daniel Bryan, the visual of my kid possibly grabbing a plastic bag during playing wrestling is not cool.
And doing it to his friend at school, you know, because like we did that stuff, bro. We emulated what we saw in the social media age where kids all taking this content through I sound like a mad old head right now. That's crazy.
You do. I'm proud of you.
Where kids take this stuff into their phones, bro. You don't want kids play wrestling and then I'm gonna do what I saw on AEW. I'm gonna put a plastic bag over your head.
My 3-year-old now, he picks up a pillow and he hits me with a steel chair. Or there's a box we saw on the internet where if you fold a box correctly, like fold it overlap, then you can slam somebody on it and it looks like it's a table. So I slammed him onto the table. So we use a box for a table and we use a pillow for a chair.
Exactly.
At what point does he go into the closet or whatever, into our, you know how you, I don't know if you guys do this, but like if you go to Kroger, you get all the plastic bags and you keep them all together so you can use them. Go get a plastic bag.
They say, Dad, remember this?
Dad, I'm going to get you.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that. He
already said, hey, I've got pretend blood.
Yeah, see, bro.
So he's already pretend bleeding. So and this is one session of watching, and that was WWE because that was CM Punk. I think CM Punk got busted open.
Yeah. So they sent us from downstairs. They even sent us like the Darby spot when they said when he jumped into the glass and like the glass just shattered.
Oh yeah.
It's like yo,
all over the fans too.
What is
huge?
And
lawsuit,
I said I'm somebody who like these people on my shirt. These two dudes. They did some shit, bro. They did some shit in WWE. One of the greatest ladder matches of all time was with the Hardy Boys.
Yes.
And they did the spear with edge. Like, this is stuff that made me...
It was so clean,
It was so clean and dope and crispy.
Yeah.
The stuff they're doing now, bro... is wild.
Maybe the fans are tired of it. And the reason I say is their biggest show of the year last year, that was All In. It had 72,265 people in attendance, allegedly, whether you believe it or not. That's it, 72,000. But then this year, they had 46,000.
Yeah, people are starting to tap out, bro.
And I'm not saying
You want to be all in? They're definitely not all in
I'm
anymore,
not
bro.
sneezing at the fact that they did 46,476. That's awesome. But when you did 72,000 the year before, that's like Memphis Wrestling running a show and drawing 1,000 people. We're like, oh man, that is awesome because you know we're smaller, right? But then if you draw a crowd of 500 the next time, that's still an awesome crowd. 500 people for a local independent show. But then
that tells you the people not invested
it's
that
half
they were.
down.
Yeah.
What's going to happen the next time?
It's like the all out show. I think was your WrestleMania at Wembley, right? It was all in.
That was
all in. Was
all
the,
in.
Was that was the WrestleMania
They
show?
were 2 weeks apart.
That's like come on,
2 weeks apart.
What are we doing? Your WrestleMania show, your crescendo show, right? Where you have Will Ospreay versus MJF. You have the big. Just imagine Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes, and then 2 weeks later, oh wait, Roman Reigns versus somebody else.
Yeah. Hey, last question here
what are we
before
doing? So yeah, ask the question so they get it for the clip.
Yes. All right. So we're gonna ask you right here, right now. Has AEW gone too far?
Are you enjoying this, fans, or are you not? Are you officially all out?
Is the needle in the mouth too much? Is the plastic bag over the head too much? Has AEW jumped the shark?
Do people still you say that?
I'm gonna say yes.
Oh, okay.
I think they have.
Okay, look, bro. It's like I said, it's somebody who takes in a lot of this stuff, bro. And I love hardcore wrestling. I watch death matches 5-star, and I enjoy the shit, bro.
My son Brady is 16 now, and he just got Instagram. And for some reason, every direct message he sends me is some dummy jumping off a balcony and missing the table, or a death match where a guy was looking at the camera today, and he went like this, and the blood went and hit the camera. Like the wildest, craziest stuff. Like I can't even believe that they're allowed to do this. All right, so our insurance literally states no chair matches, no ladder matches, no fan participation. Real insurance literally says that in my policy.
Oh, I saw a fan get beat up at your show before.
How the hell do these guys get away with this?
Man, look, bro. Look, I don't know, but like I said, we asking the question, bro. Do y'all fans, wrestling fans out here, bro? Are you done? Are you enjoying this, or is this all a part of the game? That's all. That's my question.
One last note: did you like Ricochet's promo?
No, he's horrible on the mic. Absolutely terrible.
Man,
go back to the horrible. There's a reason why in the WWE they never gave your ass a microphone.
But he was over. He was on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah,
he won championships.
But guess what he wasn't doing on Raw?
Yeah, right. But there was no reason for him to leave. And now I'm not throwing shade on Ricochet because I love him. I'm a big fan of his. But if you know that your number one knock is that you can't talk on the microphone, then brother, I am scripting in my head exactly what I'm about to say. And what he said was not it.
Hey, you could tell, like, they probably told him, Ricochet, go do your thing. He was like, oh, no.
Okay, I'll do my thing.
I'll go do my thing.
The internet's killing him already.
Oh, because it was horrible. I mean, to be honest with you, Ricochet already won life.
Absolutely.
He has Samantha Irvin.
Yeah.
Anybody who bags Samantha Irvin, I think, is won life. So these are apples to oranges when you talk about taking L's. But yeah, bro, if you're gonna be on AEW television, you gotta at least learn how to talk.
Absolutely. We're wrapping things up here on Grind City Wrestling. Dustin Starr, Devin Walker, another good time. We can't wait to hear from you guys at Grind City Media. Check this lineup out. So this is where we do our upcoming events and tell you what we got going on. Listen to this lineup, Devin. I'm not going to give you dates. I'll just give you some names.
Okay.
Jay Lethal.
Shout out Black Machismo.
Jonathan Gresham.
Shout out to the the scorpion, whatever the hell his name is.
Octopus.
Octopus, my bad, wrong animal.
Danhausen.
Okay. Is there a Halloween show?
That's the Halloween show. The Spooktacular presented by Kapow Comics, by the way.
Just
Mr. USA Tony Atlas.
Okay. Bootleg Chris Masters.
He came way before Chris Masters.
I'm joking, bro. I'm joking. He's
Thank
like
God.
the new Chris Masters.
Tugboat Typhoon Shockmaster, Fred Ottman.
Can we get him on the show?
I'm trying.
Okay. Keep going.
Butterbean.
Okay, stop. That's what.
Stop
okay, what?
Butterbean's a freaking legend.
The boxer?
Butterbean knocked out Bart Gunn at WrestleMania, and he had
in 1953.
What?
Bro, there's
Butterbean. No, don't throw shade on Butterbean.
How big is he right now? How big is he?
We're gonna find out.
How big is Butterbean?
And top dollar AJ Francis.
What if he shows up? He's like 150 pounds.
You know what all those guys have in common? Hey, as long as he still knocks somebody out, you know that's gonna happen. You know what all those guys have in common?
What do they have in common?
They are all coming to Memphis Wrestling before the end of this year.
Why did you book Butterbean?
I can't wait to see him knock somebody out at the desk.
Somebody in the comments, let us know about Butterbean, bro. Is he 150 pounds or no?
No. He's on DDPY. He's out of the wheelchair and everything. This dude was in a wheelchair.
What the?
Yeah, no, he's back. He's back. I'm a big fan of Butterbean.
I can tell.
Any big fat dude that looks so like unassuming and whatever, like, oh my gosh, this guy's highlight reel is incredible. But anyway, all those guys are coming to Memphis Wrestling in 2024, and I just can't wait. So go get those tickets, memphiswrestling.tv. Shout out to the Dyer County Fair, packed house on Saturday, tons of fun. That was our 4th year in a row. And then also this Friday the 13th, we're at the Lauderdale County Fair in Halls, Tennessee, and
is Jason showing up?
It's Friday the 13th, and it's Memphis Wrestling.
Bro,
so I can
you
only
are funny,
imagine.
bro. I love local wrestling so much. I love it. I love it.
That's what I love about it.
I love local wrestling so much, bro. You might go to a show and Jason Voorhees might show up. You might go to a show and freaking Butterbean might show up. You might go to a wrestling show and Sandman might pour beer in your mouth. Local wrestling is the best, bro.
I love it.
It's the best. I love it.
This Saturday, I'm at the Cooper Young Festival at the Memphis Grizzlies stage. I'll be introducing the bands all day. And then on the 15th, which is this Sunday, Jay Lethal and Jonathan Gresham live TV taping, 12:30 to 1:30 VIP, 1:30 bell time. And also Jonathan Gresham, I told you he's going to be training the stars of tomorrow. We are conducting special training classes coming up after television and then again on Monday and Tuesday. So anybody that's out there that's thinking of becoming a pro wrestler, right now is the time to sign up. WrestleCenter901.com. Devin, what you got going on this weekend?
This weekend is the last Grizzlies caravan of the. Before we get ready and get the season started, we'll be in Nashville on Saturday. You'll see Scottie Pippen at the Nashville Sounds game on Saturday, kind of signing autographs, taking pictures, kicking it. And then Sunday we'll be at the Kroger in Jackson, Tennessee, Mississippi, one of those cities. Jalen Wells will be there, so it's the last caravan, bro. Before things really ratchet up, bro. It's that time of year again when Grizzly season's here. Tigers season is in full swing. We're doing this podcast every week. I'm about to be tired, bro. I can already see it.
Who the Tigers got next?
They play Florida State this weekend.
Ooh,
it's a big game. You should get.
I should get one.
In best local wrestling fashion, you should get a Seminole to show up on your show this week.
Well, we do have a blue, gray, and white Memphis Wrestling logo.
Please
looks like Memphis Tigers.
Bro, please get somebody in a Seminole suit versus a Tiger fan to wrestle at your show. Do it like old school territory wrestling, bro.
Who wins, the Tigers or Florida State?
Tigers, bro. GTG.
How devastating would that loss be?
Not that devastating.
Really?
No.
Aren't Florida State, they haven't won?
They're 0-2, but it's fine. They're still a Power 4 school. But GTG. You should do more of this. I know we got to wrap this podcast.
We'll talk about it next week.
But you should do more of this on your show. Where if there's like a territory, like a thing happening, you should have a player out on your show.
Well, the players are a little tougher. You know that.
No. Let's say okay, for instance, like a big football game is gonna happen. Have somebody in Memphis Tigers suit come out. Get the fans riled up.
I'm sure Memphis Tigers would love that.
And then somebody come out like a Middle Tennessee State shirt and be like, Memphis sucks, boo!
That's a game offs thing. And
then the Memphis Tiger fans beat the shit out of the Middle Tennessee State fans. You get a big pop. It goes viral. There you go. Look, I'm just writing you a script.
Yep. Hey, let's do it. All right. I am Dustin Starr. He is Devin Walker, baby. And this has been Grind City Wrestling. All right. I'll go ahead and do it.
There you go. It's just me, Oos. No, come on.
Do it the whole thing?
Me, Oos. Day one. It's just me, Oos. Day one. Yeah, shout out Dustin 5-star, man. Yeet.
Oh, yeah.